Hey everybody, Melissa here, coming to you again this week with thoughts from my journey. Last week I talked a little bit about almost missing a dream. Part of the dream had come true, but not all of it. So I didn't appreciate the part that did come true. And it got me thinking how often I do that. Maybe it's the same for you too. So that's part of what I'm sharing on this channel. This week I am talking a little bit about something that I started doing after realizing that, gosh, maybe I need to be paying a little bit more attention to my life instead of thinking about the next step or the next thing that I was going to be working on, the next trip I was going to be taking, but being in the moment. And I wanted to be able to capture the smaller moments that I might otherwise let pass me by and not give too much thought to. Part of the reason is because of my own journey and experiences, and also what my clients have shared with me that it's the small things that when you look back, that's what makes the biggest difference. And there's small shifts that we might have a tendency to look past them. I started doing this practice that I call pages of proof. And what I do is every night before I go to bed, I write in my journal one thing that happened that day that is small, where I made a decision because it's something that I wanted to do and not because I thought someone else might want to do it. I did it because I wanted to do it. Or it could be a boundary that I promised myself that I would make, and then I kept it. I held firm to that boundary. I want to take time to recognize when I've had these small wins. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it helps me not rush by those moments where I've chosen differently, where I am doing what the best version of me would do. I'm living from that space of that person that I'm wanting to become. And I'm living from that space right now. I want to capture those moments. The other reason is because on those days when I'm feeling down, and maybe this is something that you can relate to also, we're behind the eight ball, we're never going to catch up, or whatever the case is. I want to be able to turn to my pages of proof in those moments and look at the things that I have done all along the way that are actual wins that I can be proud of. And that helps me remember, oh my gosh, I forgot about doing that. I forgot when I held that boundary. And yeah, I remember that it was really hard, but I was so proud of myself in the moment because I chose myself instead of putting myself in a situation that would drain me, for example. Or I made a decision about something in my business without feeling like I had to ask someone else's opinion about what they thought about it. I made the decision and I went with it. So things like that, I want to be able to reflect on. And in those days when I'm feeling low or feeling like I'm not doing enough, I can look back and see that, wow, I actually have done a lot. I am doing a lot and I have made progress. And I really feel like if you're like me, we don't always take the time to celebrate those small moments. But I'm telling you, if we take the time to look at those small wins throughout the day or even the week, we write them down and capture them, we're creating that proof that we are making progress. We're not the same person that we were yesterday. And oh my gosh, look at how far I've come. My challenge to you would be tonight before you go to bed, think back over the past few days or week about something that you did differently that you may not have otherwise noticed because you've been working on it, or you've been telling yourself that you're going to do it and you realize you have done it. So just write something down and I'll show you actually. I keep this super mini notebook right next to my bed, and this is what I jot things down on. And then I also have like just a regular journal that I will capture bigger things. Maybe I'm going throughout my day and I realize in that moment what I've done and I want to capture it more fully. So both of those are small enough to fit in my bag and I can grab them and jot whatever it is down. But again, the small one I keep by my bed, and this is what I write in at night. And I do like to go back and look through it. Like I said, when I'm feeling down, absolutely I do that. But even on those times when I'm not feeling down and I just want to review the things that I've done because we forget, it helps me show myself that, oh my gosh, I am keeping these promises or these commitments to myself. The more that we can do that and see that we're doing that, the more that it builds self trust and that builds confidence. And I'm here to tell you that these small practices that I'm sharing with you along the way have made such a huge difference. I am not the same person that I was a year ago, for sure. I'm not even the same person that I was 6 months ago. I am continuing to grow and lean into things that make me feel so uncomfortable. And I don't always appreciate it in the moment until I look back and reflect. So, pages of proof is something that you can do. If you don't want to use notebooks or a journal, open an app on your phone, your notes app. And every time that you think about something that you've done, or maybe right after you've done something, write it and save it to your phone. And that can be where you go to reflect whether you're feeling low or you just want to review how far you've come. And when we do that, again, it gives us a little boost. And a lot of the times that's what we're chasing is that dopamine boost. If we can give it to ourselves by appreciating the things that we have done, I think that's pretty cool. So I'd love to hear if this is a practice that you start doing, or maybe you are already doing something similar. Share it with me. I'd love to know. If you don't want to do this every night, do it once a week before you go to bed or before you start the new week. Reflect. What are a few of the small wins that you have had that you may otherwise have passed by? Until next week, friends, I'll talk to you later.